Hello, it's Connor with Plucking A again, and I'm here to talk to you today about this knackered old slab of mahogany and sadness, because in just the last week or so I've had a couple of people asking me what the story is with this old Flying V, which you've probably seen in my videos before hanging up on the wall behind me. So yeah, I mean, the story, such as it is one of kind of shame and neglect, really. Because I bought this probably 18 months ago, nearly, or maybe more, with the intention of doing something cool with it, and I just haven't been able to yet because money and time and stuff has just kind of got in the way. So I've had a Flying V for a long time, that red one sitting on the wall behind me. That was bought in about, oh, that's the guitar I've had the longest now. I think it's I've had it nearly 10 years, and it was just a regular faded cherry one with two humbuckers and a white scratch plate and all that jazz. And it had some electrical problems, so I decided to just start again and get the black scratch plate and the Firebird mini humbuckers from Oil City, which are awesome. But I always wanted another Flying V to put P90s in, because I kind of like the perversity of having Flying Vs without humbuckers and just having, them with other pickups instead. And I knew from the off that I wanted a white one, because I love white Flying Vs. I always have, probably because of, early Michael Schenker and early James Hetfield and all that kind of thing. I particularly love the sort of, the nickel covered humbuckers look, and the vibrola, which this has. I found this just by chance. I wasn't looking at all. I found it at a guitar show in London, or near London, a couple of years ago. And it just sort of called out to me, I guess. So I went and played it, and it was knackered. I could tell immediately that it was absolutely knackered, but it was, it played fine. It looked the way I wanted it to, and I knew it was a good base for this sort of project that I had in mind. So I kind of, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So a couple of days later, I made the bloke an offer, which he accepted, and I went up to a service station on the M1 late at night and collected this. But yeah, it's definitely had a hard life. I don't know how many owners it's been through, but at least one of them previously appears to have towed it around behind his car or something, because it's knackered. I mean, you can see it's got the loads of finished chips and stuff. It's obviously very faded and yellowed. It's got dirt all, well, it did have a lot more dirt all over it, but I cleaned some of that off. Under this scratch plate is a sight to behold, honestly. There was an extra pot routed out on the old scratch plate, and I think the wood underneath that was routed out was done with a teaspoon or something like that, because it's not a neat job. There's also a bit here, you can see there's some bare wood, which is kind of also not very cleanly carved. It looks a bit like a slice of chocolate cake or something. Then there's a chipped nut up here, chipped nut slot, and on the back, of course, the headstock repair, which is apparently stable, but it's not pretty, is it? So yeah, it's had a hard life. All the scratch plate screw holes are completely stripped, so you could probably pull the scratch plate off without using a screwdriver if you wanted to. And the bridge is some kind of horrible aftermarket job. I don't know what it is. The vibrola was originally completely seized. Oh, look, it's still wobbly. Good. Yeah, the vibrola, the arm was seized on, and it's got some not very well filled in stud holes where the tunematic would have been. So yeah, this scratch plate is not the original one. I took that off. That's still got the old pickups that this came with, and the all the pots and wiring, the extra pot included. So there's so much weight on that scratch plate that when you pick it up, it kind of bends in half. But yeah, and I just put the scratch plate that used to be on that red V on this, and it nearly fits. So that's good. Yeah, so I've been intending to get this sorted for a while. It needs a lot of work, but one of the main things it needs first, before I can do anything else, is it needs some pickups and some wiring. And I still don't really know what to do. I'm kind of open to suggestions, because I know I want some kind of nickel covered humbucker look for it. Originally it was going to be, humbucker size P90s like Fat Cats or Oil City Mighty 90s or something like that. But I'm not so sure about that idea anymore. I mean, I'm still open to it, but I'm now wondering about other things. I was thinking about a Peter Green style reverse wound humbucker set, but since I got the Mockingbird that's sitting over there, the old Mockingbird, that's got some, phase splitting switches on it and stuff, so that kind of does that job, so I don't really need something else that does too. Um, yeah, the latest thing I've thought about is a set of bare knuckle Rebel Yells, the Steve Stevens signature ones with the awesome ray gun graphics on the covers, because they look amazing. um, yeah, so I still don't really know what I'll go for, but it's all academic at the minute because I haven't got the money to do anything with it. So I'm just gonna wait until I have got the money to justify spending on it. Um, but hopefully that will happen sooner rather than later, and you'll be able to finally see this guitar getting the love that it deserves. So yeah, that's about the story of it really. It's a bit of a sad tale at the minute, but it will have a happy ending eventually. I'm confident of that. So yeah, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this has cleared up the question that at least two people have been asking. And yeah, until next time, till I see you again, stay safe, peace and pluck in.